All right, guys. Long time no see. I gotta make sure I started the recording button, not start streaming. Long time no see, guys. It has been about a month since my last post, and I think my last post was me referring to the fact that I was in a drawdown. I am here to go ahead and state to you guys, I am actually no longer in that drawdown. I have made it out of the trenches. I am now green and positive in my swing trade account, which is my E-Trade account. Remember, guys, I have a center point, which is the real account. That's where I take all my real size positions, my A plus setups, everything that I really see the market doing. It's my bigger account, and then I have my E-Trade, which was meant for swing trading based off of like Ariel Hernandez's strategy. Mark Minervini's, Dan Zanger, all of these, really high quality, swing traders. What is it? Is it Oliver Kell? I follow him on Twitter, but he's a really good example of a swing trader. But essentially, I am just here to explain to you guys how I got out of the drawdown, because I know that I am not the only person who deals with drawdown. I know I'm not the only individual who has suffered from it, and I just feel like for someone without a name, right? Like we all know, like when Lance Brightstein uploads a video via his YouTube channel, like he's already an experienced trader. He's already has multitudes of millions of dollars, right? I'm very experienced as well, but I don't have the type of success that he has. So you guys can kind of see how it is. So I've already proven myself as someone who is successful via scalping, but I haven't proven myself via swing trading. So, well, what did I do? What did I change in my trading that turned me from being in a downswing, to now green on my portfolio in the span of maybe like 3.5 weeks, a little bit longer possibly, because I haven't uploaded in a month. I think I've been green maybe 3.5 to 2 weeks. I did suffer quite a significant drawdown. Well, what happened was I tried a new strategy, guys. I tried to get into swing trading, and it just didn't work, right? And I want to go ahead and state that the reason why swings didn't work for me is because by the time my account had gotten funded, and so like I had to pull out money from my center point account, which is my big account, so for it to take time to transfer out of center point, to then get to my bank account, to then me send it to E-Trade, to then me fund it via E-Trade, it all took the span of like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and then I have like a business, so like I had to get my EIN, which also takes time. So throughout that whole process, I missed, honestly, this break of the all-time highs in my swing trades, right? My E-Trade account. I missed it. I did have a position in my long-term account, which I also have a Fidelity long-term that I invest in only specifically on ETFs. So I actually managed to get into that. Like, I was buying all the way down here. Then we got up here, and I kind of sold a good chunk of that position. But yeah, I did ride in my long-term portfolio. I rode this, right, in my Fidelity account. My E-Trade, when we started to get like around here is where I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and fund this swing trade account. And it just didn't work, guys. By the time we got around here, volatility started to creep in. The Iran situation picked up. We've had clearly some names like MU, like overextended so much that it's like you can't even ride this thing anymore, right? There we go, finally. Like, you can't even ride this wave anymore. You missed this whole up move during the whole SPY run up. So what do I do? Well, the first thing I do is I go back to my basics, right? I'm in drawdown. The reason why I'm in drawdown is because I tried a new strategy during a time where maybe I shouldn't have, right? Where it wasn't working for me personally. I'm sure there are tons of people who are absolutely killing swing trades, bro. I like people who might be in biotech right now, people who might be in healthcare, like UNH, right? I think UNH is doing well, right? This is 52-week highs, like Humana doing well, like what is it, Lilly doing well. Fuck it, we can go to like Allstate doing well, like, so there's clear money rotation coming in, right, into other sectors. I just missed it, right? And the problem is why did I miss all of these additional moves? I was in drawdown, guys. That is exactly why I missed it. Because I'm in drawdown and I'm learning a new strategy, which guys, I am not leaving swing trading, right? I just had to get back green in the account. Now that that has happened, next time we get a really, really good run, I will be prepared much better via the strategies that I've learned, the things that I've missed out on. You know, just because I took a step back from swing trading does not mean I took a step back from educating myself on the process of of learning how to swing trade. I'm still in Ariel's morning streams every day. I'm still in that Discord. I'm still learning and reading, you know, from people's wish on Twitter all the time. I'm taking information from everybody and everywhere that's swing trading, and I'm honing it into my own craft, all while going back to what I know and what I know best, which is scalping, intraday trading, basically the investor's underground way of trading, right? You know, if you guys don't know, I've been in that community for a very, very long time. It's one of the best investments I've ever made, was learning from people like, you know, Nate, learning from Godfather, learning from the new guy Chris, you know, and that Chris, I say that just in case he stumbles upon it, I say new guy Chris, but he's been doing the Sunday scans, you know, for a pretty long time, and dude, he has some fantastic call outs throughout that whole thing, you know. So I went back to that route. I went back to day trading. So I'm going to go ahead and explain to you step by step how I got out of the drawdown. 1, my size decreased, because what I needed to do was now build confidence back in the account. And in order to do that, you have to size down and get green days under your belt. Now, luckily, what I did was I just simply got on a streak, guys. Within the last month, or the last 3.5 weeks, right, I've had 1 red day. That is something that, like, it's very ironic, because I think Lance had posted a tweet about it recently, how he went on like a 200-day streak, green streak. And he asked people on Twitter, well, how do you think I did that? Well, I'm going to tell you how he did it. I don't know if he posted an answer, but I can only assume how he did it. Every trade does not matter, right, in terms of sizing. What you're doing is you're trying to get hits consistently until you get like a real big, nice A+ setup where you can have some exponential risk on. And then you nail that trade. And then you go back to first base. And you're doing that perpetually, right? So, like, I'll break it down even simpler forms for those who might not grasp this concept. Let's say your daily goal is $200, $300 as a new trader, right? What's the easiest way to break that up? Well, if I make $20 10 times in a trading day via scalping, that's $200. So you start doing the math on how many trades you got to take, how you're going to scalp through the day. Of course, you have to have a strategy behind it, right? So if you're going to scalp, you have to be able to get into trades and get out of them, you know, fairly quick. So I'm going to show you some examples here, just so you guys know I'm not bullshitting, fucking around. You know, I want to sit here and educate you guys, because here's the truth, right? If you're going to choose to be in this game, right, and you are a beginner, drawdown scares a lot of people. I know people who are in a perpetual rat wheel trying to find the answer, because they always want to be right, or they always want to catch the big move, or they always want to 15 times their P&L, whatever the case may be, right? I know people who are on this rat wheel talking to Claude, talking to ChatGPT, talking to, you know, all of these things, trying to build out a code or do this, do that, or the other. And in all actuality, the thing that's stopping you from being green is, 1, really proper edge, and 2, sizing accordingly. Like, that is what's preventing you. Like, if you have a proper edge and you're day trading, and you already know that you have a strategy that works, and your strategy is just, you know, hurting you right now, well, then you might have to change something, and downsizing will help you. And so how do you get off that wheel? I think the first thing is you have to downsize. The second thing is you have to understand what type of market are you in. Were we in a market where you were longing everything when the SPY was doing this? Right? Because if that's you, right, and now you're in the drawdown because the SPY is doing this, right, Now it's doing this and kind of downtrending, you know, kind of getting a lot more. Look at the candlesticks here versus here, right? Like, there's a lot more volatility happening around this area than it was around here. And you could see it by the daily candles. So you have to find out what type of market environment you are in. That's something that's very, very important. So if you're not somebody who can handle volatility, you might have to sit back a little bit and educate yourself and understand, right, how to survive volatility, right? You might have to do that. And if you cannot do that, then you're going to see yourself a perpetual drawdowns because you were in this market where it was easy, right? We could pull up, I mean, dude, what do we want to pull up? We want to pull up Apple, right? Do we want to pull up, we want to get stupid, AXTI? Do we want to get, you know, do we want to AAOI? I mean, this run up. Do we want a WDC? We already seen that. MU, we seen that. Let's see. What else was running? SNDK, right? Like, Saxo, right? You notice a lot of these are going to be same sector-ish, right? What was Amazon doing? I think Amazon was doing well during this run-up. Like here was doing well, but obviously kind of dramatic right here. I think Google had that Berkshire bid, right? So Google might be a better example, right? Yeah, Google had that run-up. I think this is when the SPY started curling. Google started curling and then gets that big move. Like, if that is the market that you were in, you need to identify, hey, I had a successful, great run in a very, very bullish market. Tides are shifting. It's no longer working. Well, how do I fix it? One, you can learn how to short. Or two, you can start using moving averages. Like today, Google has a really good bid in on it off of the hold of basically the 50 daily moving average, right? So you'll have to start utilizing like moving averages, or the 100 daily moving average is actually where it bounced off at. I know Nvidia is catching a bit of a bid. That's off the 200, I believe. Yeah, this is the 200 daily moving average. A nice little V shape here. Beautiful, beautiful trade. But yeah, honestly, what I did was this. This is how I essentially got out of my trades. One, WDC has been a broken slot machine for me. WDC and ARM has been the absolute, and Intel has been the absolute broken slot machine for me. I have been back to the hammer, back to the hammer, back to the hammer, just killing these names because of the range that they're providing me. Like, I was short WDC on this day, right? I let it rest on the gap down on the next. I think this was on a Monday. 23. Was that on Monday? Yeah. No, Tuesday. So I let it. Oh, yeah. Because I think we had Monday off or something on the 22nd. Juneteenth or something like that. But we get this gap down. Guys, I'm not shorting in the hold. So this, you know, obviously fails. Or this kind of fails the shorts, right? Like, I'm not sitting here longing a gap down day. So then this lets go of previous day lows, which means I'm joining in on this day. This gets a mean pop, gap fills, I short again on this day. And then, yet again, I shorted today again here. And you know what's funny is I shorted this name and I made money. Of course, I should have longed this shit because look where it's at now. But what I did was I seen this thing pop up. I seen it fail. This is a demand zone I have around here, right? I see it pop up. It fails the daily 20 moving average. I'm like, dude, this is where I want to be. So I wait a couple of candles to make sure it's properly rejecting. As soon as this candle started coming in with another topping wick, I get in at sort of like the body of this candle right here. Let me go here. I got in like right about here. And then it just completely fades. And I'm relatively, you know, I have a good position on, right? It's not my max size position because I'm understanding, guys, that so now that I'm back in the scalping, you know, kind of mode, I have to utilize my size correctly. Like I have to make sure that these trades that I take, one, if I oversize, is very easy for me to hit a max stop. So if I'm losing on a trade, I have to make sure that I'm taking maybe a 10% intraday size loss on it so that I can easily make that back in the next trade. But not only that, make sure that I don't ruin my mental capital. Right? Because if you end up going down 50, 60, 70% of your intraday max loss, right? Where you're just like, fuck, it's over. Like, dog, it's over. Like, you blew your whole mental capacity. You blew your chance. You have to now wait another day. I have not been doing that. So what have I been doing? 100% position size is my max size, right? I've been putting 20%, 30%, 40%, never really truly reaching 100% max size capabilities aside from big days. Mind you, this is a huge day, by the way. This is just a perfect ABCD pattern. Just, I don't know. I don't know why I missed this long. But anyways, I caught this move. I caught the whole washout here, and I took profits because we're starting to get bottom wicks here, guys. So I took this trade. This was one of the trades I took, and I'll show you another trade that I took here as well today. I took Apple here today. Now, why did I take Apple? Well, one, I have a supply zone here, a manual supply zone, right? It gets up to this kind of low, these lows right here. Lows, 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 washout, right? You know, this is a Vincent DeSanio. I hope I pronounced his name correctly, but this is one of his strategies, right? You know, I hone in a bunch of people's crafts into my own. I see this coming into a level of possible weakness. I noticed that it was weaker than the macro markets at the time. Well, it was above previous day highs, but macro markets are catching a bid while this thing was kind of failing and staying heavy. So I shorted Apple today. Now, I only shorted, I got short here, right here, like literally like probably here. Honestly, I'm more than likely in a top tick, but I got in there and I only took the short up to here. So previous day close, I just played for the gap fill and I missed out on the rest of this move, but it's okay because for me, this was kind of an A+ scalp. So I took like a 70% size position on this trade with my risk at previous day highs. I know some people like to use like actual highs, and I don't blame them for anybody who wants to use like the actual highs of the day. Just kind of skews the RR. For me, this is now rejecting previous day highs. It's sub VWAP. It's rejecting now my manual supply that I have going on. You know, the EMAs are now sloping down. So I took this trade, wrote it to the gap down or the gap fill, and those were the two trades I took today. I did take another, I took an L on WDC, small L. I took another trade on WDC, but it was like a small short L. No real size behind it. So I think I got short like right here, and then it ended up swiping me out. I was hoping, I was anticipating a reject and not trading off of the confirmation of a reject. I thought this was going to be a little too high, and it just kept grinding up. Either way, that loss doesn't matter because there was very little size on that trade. Being I was already right twice on the day, my P&L was looking good on the day on minute secure size. So I just took a small position. And yet again, the goal is just to stay green when you're scalping, right? You have to have an edge though. You have to have a strategy. So this is not like a video where I'm literally gonna tell you guys, oh, this is my strategy, this is how I did it, and you can do it, and here's the, you know, I'm giving you everything. It's not what's happening, guys. You have to develop a strategy, and then you have to be able to size accordingly to that strategy on an intraday kind of view, rather than the swing trading that I was pursuing. That I wouldn't want to say, I shouldn't say I failed at it, because it's not really a failure, due to the fact that I'm going to swing trade again. I just need for the right market context, confluences, whatever you want to name it, to go in my favor. But either way, guys, I am out of it, you know, and the key truly to getting out of it is, one, having the right mental bandwidth to be able to trade, right? Don't let like a 5K drawdown, 10K drawdown, for some of you guys with smaller accounts might be $200, $300, $400, right? Don't let that enter your mind and kind of deteriorate you from doing your job as a trader. Your job as a trader is to find very good setups, find edge, and exploit it, right? And then make money off of it. So the best way, in my opinion, if you're in drawdown to go ahead and do that is to lower size, because you're no longer fearful of a max drawdown. You're no longer fearful of taking losses. You're just trading the play in hand. Whatever your setup is that you're taking it on size where if you win, right, it's still a good chunk. Like, okay, so hypothetically, let's say like your daily goal is $200. Maybe for your first trade, you book a $70 trade. Then you take another trade, you might make $50. Right? So that'll put you up $130. Now you only need $70 to go. Like, And that's how I played the game. It's literally how I played the game. Now the monetary value of what I'm saying is completely different. But that's how I played it. That is how I got out of drawdown. It was sizing, keeping my mental capacity or my mental capital like really zoned in, and not be put in a position where any one trade sets me at a max loss on the day. No singular trade that I have taken throughout my whole 3.5 week run up with only one red day. Not a single time did I ever take a full size position, aside from the A++ days, which was the WDCs, the Intel. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about Intel, but I took a really INTC. What the hell am I doing? INTC. Nice V shape on this on the daily 20, by the way. But like this day, I caught this flush out day, guys. One thing that you guys need to know about me is I'm a much better short seller than I am a long bias trader, just for what it's worth. So if you guys are wondering, like, wow, this guy really is making the majority of his money shorting, it's just how I learned the Nate way, the IU way. There's a lot of short bias traders in there. That's how I learned, right? You know, and then I started learning from Ariel, which is why I wanted to dive into swing trading. And unfortunately, just, I caught it at the back end, man. I caught it at the back end and I missed out. Now, that's not to say that there's not opportunity out there. Like I said, we have Allstate doing well. PGR, what's PGR doing? PGR just got over the 200 daily moving average. I don't know what State Farm's ticker is. But what really is moving the market is things like Eli Lilly, United Healthcare, Humana. I mean, those are the things that's kind of getting this market going. Biotech's doing well. So that is honestly what I have to say about it. I know when I talk, I don't do cuts, and I don't have something listed on a board where I'm writing a bunch of stuff down to keep things intact and do key takeaways. And everything is just one big kind of ramble. But yet again, don't lose your mental capacity. Size into every trade accordingly. Make sure that you have a actual edge to your trading. That is so imperative, because you can do everything else, but if you have no edge, then you're just handing the market money. Like, you're just giving it away. So like, you have to have edge, and that's essentially it, man. That's how I got out of drawdown. No one trade was the determining factor of me, taking a huge drawdown or a big exponential win where I made it all back in one day. Not a single trade did that for me. It was all a bunch of trades added up over time that got me out of drawdown. And that is how you play the game, guys. That is how you play the game. I know how to get out of drawdown, and let me tell you guys something. When you are capable of getting out of a drawdown, you can do it over and over and over and over again under the right, market conditions that fit your edge. That is the benefit of a drawdown. You guys always see drawdown, like a lot of new traders always see drawdown as, oh man, I'm in this, I'm in that, cry, complain, oh my god, the market took this away from me. When you get out of that drawdown, you're like, holy fuck, alright, I did this once, I can do it again. That really goes to show the type of trader you are. I think that also shows longevity in the game, right? If you could get out of drawdowns without blowing your mental load, it really, really changes the way that you view trading, and you find it kind of more of a blessing, knowing that the worst thing possible could happen to me, right? I mean, obviously you can blow up on some sort of low flow China stock if you're trading small cap, right? Like, you short like a goddamn China name in pre-market at $2, and then in a 5-minute candle it's up $80. Like, that happens, we've seen that. So that's honestly what I wanted to say. That's how I got out of drawdown, guys. I hope this helped out somebody. This is just a quick also update on a couple of the trades that I did go ahead and take. I hope there was at least a little bit of value here. I mean, even just like a little pinch of salt of value for any of you guys. I know you guys can get this information from Lance. I know you guys can get this information from probably Ariel. Any Twitter bigwig that I might be missing out, has probably explained how to get out of drawdown. But I am someone that you probably have never heard of. I'm not a developed name like that. Like, I'm not somebody that people look up to. right? Like, I'm not someone with a huge, massive following. I'm just a guy who's in kind of these rooms, right? And I talk a lot in those rooms, right? But I just kind of keep to myself, and you know, I'm just not big like that. So, but I hope that this can help somebody out. I really do. Don't blow your mental capacity. Trade, fight to trade another day, right? And that's it, man. All the information on how to trade, all the styles and stuff like that, man, all of it's all out there, guys. You know, the success to be, everything that you need to be a successful trader is on the internet. It is. It is. And none of it has to be paid for. I pay for IU because it's like I kind of got brought up in it, and it's like, all right, well, it's almost like a tax thing for me now. It's like, all right, I came up a couple grand, here's a couple hundred or whatever to Nate because you were one of the teachers. You know, that's kind of how I view it. Like, I don't know, maybe it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm in a good position, guys. I really truly am, and I'm blessed to be able to do this for a living. I'm blessed to be able to get out of drawdowns, and wake up every day knowing that, you know, I am in control of what happens next. You know, it's one of the most surreal things that you can ever experience while being a trader, is completely understanding that you are in control and you make the decisions, and even when you make the bad decisions, you know how to get out of those bad decisions. It's all with, bro, it's a game of just focus on yourself. Focus on yourself and you'll succeed. That's it.